What's up, everybody? Once again, fucked up.
Tony Rocky Horror.
And we would like to have a little, just a brief little talk about a film that was probably one of the best. I don't know if you could totally rate it as a horror film. It's kind of it's horror. It's thriller.
It's there, man.
It's suspense. It's serial killer, slasher. Everything you want in fear is this movie, and that is the Poughkeepsie tapes.
And you know, just to start off before we even get into the movie, I think the most compelling thing about this movie is the fact that anything that leads to talk about this movie just leads to a dead end. Anything.
Articles, everything online.
It seems
everything
like
online. There were posters in magazines at one point, you know, for with the videotapes lined up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And nothing.
And then just vanished. Like you had gone onto their MySpace and what was the deal with that?
Netflix and Blockbuster Online. It was available. Gone.
Yeah, I mean, like
what happened to this movie? What happened to this movie? It's one of the most brilliant movies I've ever watched. Brilliant. I mean, I don't mean just a fun movie, a good movie to just regular good. It's fucking genius.
It's more than entertaining. It's chilling.
It's realistic.
It's chilling. It's disturbing. It's not Grace. Right?
You had to bring that up.
It's chilling. It's disturbing. It's scary. It's brutal, and yet you really don't see when he's doing the murders. You don't see all that much.
No, yeah, that's the great thing. Like, you know, it almost takes you back to the old horror movies. You know, I mean, like Texas Chainsaw and stuff like that was able to hit you hard and not show very much.
No.
It was played at the Tribeca Film Festival. It aced. It really did good. From that point on, it was a race between, all right, well, this person's putting out. Now they're not putting it out. This person might put it out. Now they're not putting it out. This person's putting it back and forth. And the last that was read, the last thing we were able to find was late 2009 through MGM. We checked MGM's website, nothing to be found, and then on another website said it was canceled off of the MGM.
Well, you know, here's a question I wanted to pose to you, because you've done the most research on this. Do you think what happened was he had a problem shopping it around and then moved on to other projects, or did he move on to other projects and then just stopped shopping it around?
That's a good question, because it could be either one. Because he went on to work on, first of all, this was made by the brothers Dowdle, D-O-W-D-L-E.
Quit dawdling around and release this movie.
And one of the brothers, I believe it was Eric.
Yeah.
Eric Dowdle, I believe it was. It moved on. He worked on Quarantine, the remake of Record,
which was a good movie and it was a tough act to follow.
Right. Okay. And Quarantine happened to have been very good.
Yeah.
We had discussed it once before. It was quite good. So maybe they just dropped it back and said, you know what? Let's wait. Let's just fucking wait. This was an independent film. Blah blah blah. But it may be an independent film, but you're looking at one of the most brilliant goddamn movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, for real. I mean, just it was as dark and as violent as it was at times. It was just there was just man, I don't know if I want to give it away, but the little girl on the lawn, man.
Oh yeah, all right, yeah. You don't need to give it away, but this, all right. Let's give it a little premise, and then they'll kind of get the little girl on the lawn thing. Okay. You know, if you don't know what the Poughkeepsie tapes is about, it's a mockumentary. That's exactly what it is. The FBI, the police, everybody, involved in crime, finding killers and stuff like that, discover over 800 videotapes in this man's house.
Now, does that mean he killed 800 people, or is it?
No.
Is just a bunch of tapes leading up to his victims?
Yeah. If you remember in the movie, he said it was like over 25 hours worth of footage of just like balloon stuff. random fetish stuff, like girls bouncing on balloons,
right,
which
right,
they
right,
show
right,
at one
right. Yeah.
brief point. They show a girl bouncing and he tells her to pop it.
He's got like slave shit on there.
He's
too.
got some slave stuff in there. Like he's just he's a sick fucker, but it's a slow progression. You see, and it's with they show with one of his head guys at the FBI is teaching a class.
Yeah, he
about
was
and he's showing them parts of these tapes of him stalking, this a young girl. There was a scene with a young girl, a couple that he got into a car with, and it shows the progression. He's getting better at what he's doing because he's starting to really enjoy it.
Yeah, and he starts to change his MO too. And
Yeah, at one point, right?
And there was one part, basically like the way the film is shot is they're all testimonials of people who were involved in the case, whether it was investigating him or people who were criminologists who were teaching about it or
Right.
things like that. And one guy had said, some serial killers are very messy.
Yeah.
Some serial killers are very neat. Some are antisocial. Some are very polite and
John
social.
Wayne Gacy,
Yeah.
very, very social, whereas you have Dahmer, who is totally antisocial.
And this guy they don't know where on the spectrum.
No.
And they can't grab him.
They can't pinpoint him at all, and like you said, his changing of his MO at one point. Like, they even talk about it. They have the criminologists talk about most serial killers or mass murderers, they have an MO. And they stick by that. And that's why a lot of them, now, they get caught. It's easy to catch them because, all right, here, this is it, plain and simple. They're following this steady pattern. This guy pulls flip mode on them. It was just something we felt strongly that we had to speak about, because it's just it really is it's an incredible movie. And